Greetings, dear viewers, and welcome to another live conversation on ALLATRA TV. We continue our interviews on the topic Creative Society, and today we have a very special guest from United Arab Emirates. And I'm happy to introduce my co-host today, Natalia Romanova from Dubai. Hi, Natalia, how are you?
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And I would like to introduce our guest today, Mr. Ahmed Waqar Mohsin. Mr. Waqar is an internationally certified academic trainer and a corporate consultant based in UAE. He received his training accreditation from University of Cambridge, London. Along with his proven record of academic training, Mr. Waqar is also associated with a number of corporate firms and NGOs based in Pakistan, UAE, and USA as a strategic planning consultant. Mr. Waqar, I'm very happy to see you today and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for such a hotline and the highly introduction, I must say. I'm impressed at that. Thank you very much for having me here.
And we know that a lot of your students and friends are watching us today. So we are happy to send our greetings to our viewers as well. And for those who are watching us for the first time, I would like to remind and to say that Creative Society is a global project launched by ALLATRA International Public Movement. And today, this project is being implemented in more than 180 countries. And we have international volunteer TV channels in different languages. So whenever you want to join and be a guest of our shows, don't hesitate. We will always organize an interview in your language. Also, we are testing a theory of 6 handshakes. And according to this social theory, all people in the world are connected through 6 or fewer social connections only. And we are very happy to have our own research results, and we have proven then that with contemporary social media networks it's working even quicker. So 1 or 2 connections are enough to speak to connect with any person. And let's start our today's conversation about Creative Society, because Creative Society is the most important project of humanity today. And we are building the Creative Society all together. And now we are at the informational stage, at the stage where we inform all people in the world about this project. And I would like to pass the floor to Natalia to ask the first question to our dear guest today.
Thank you, Alina. Mr. Waqar, one of my favorite questions I really would love to ask the people is, regardless of any differences that we have from each other, such as race, nationality, religion, language, culture, anything else is countless. So regardless of any differences, what do you think unite all the people around the globe?
It's basically the approach, the mindset, the freedom, the thought process, because we are all humans. So humanity comes first. And that is the reason why, if you move on from one country to another country, if you talk to the people from different nationalities, if you talk to the people from different continents, from different parts of the world, you will find in most of the cases, you are going to find the likable stuff in between. You will find, okay, this guy is similar to me. He thinks like me. She thinks like me. We have got a lot of similarities in between. And when all these things just go along, that is the point when you find the acquaintance in between. And then you don't really think about, or you don't really care about uh, to make that person a new friend of yours. And if you take it this way, then you will find, well, it's not the culture, it's basically the mindset. And with this perspective of the mindset, we are all humans. And Alhamdulillah, the Allah Almighty has created us in the way that we are, we are humans first. If we just consider it that way, a lot of things are really going to be minimized and sorted out from the society. That's what I personally feel about it.
That's such an amazing answer. And this is something we are missing in our society a lot. And that's really time for all of us to recall that we are all humans, we are all united, we are all equal, and only being next to each other and supporting each other, we can create a society where everyone is happy. And my next question would be, how do you envision a creative society? By creative society, we mean a format of the society where all people are happy, where all people have a possibility to develop, to grow, to live in prosperity, in security. And actually, this is an evolutional stage, next stage of our society. How do you envision such a society?
Well, as there are basically the eight foundations of the creative society, right? This is what we have gone through from the platform of international public movement, from the platform of Allatra, from different sort of platforms. So if I really have to pick up something I really focused on, I really consider as the most important point is the concept of justice and equality, because this is something we really need to work on apart from our races, apart from our nationalities. As I started my answer, the first one with that, human, we are not humans. As the humans, this is our natural right. Okay, we all need to have this justice, and we all need to be this. We all need this sort of equality among us, because the more we are going to prevail the justice in the society, the more we are going to talk about the equality, and not just to talk about it. The more the implementation of this concept of justice and equality will be there, you will find the society will start moving towards that way, where we can actually find the thing which we are right now just dreaming about, to have that creative society. Once we all will feel we are equal, justice is there, and we are all equal in terms of means, in terms of usage, in terms of resources, whatever it is available, the more we are going to minimize the inequality among the society in terms of finances, in terms of resources, in terms of opportunities, the more we are, I think, moving more towards that creative society we're all dreaming about.
Absolutely. And thank you for touching the topic of eight foundations of the creative society. And we will introduce them to our viewers. And just before we move forward, I wanted also to mention that there are eight foundations of the creative society which we will introduce. And the first and the most important one is human life. So, creative society is is a society there life of every human is valued, and there is no bigger value in a society than human life. Nothing can be more important than human life. And now you can see on the screen the description of the first foundation, which is human life. And just imagine if any decision taken by society will be through their perspective that we should cherish human life, how beautiful will be our society, isn't it? And Natalia, I pass your floor for the next question, please.
Mr. Wakar, we know that you get yourself familiar with eight foundation of creative society, and I would like to ask you, in case if all the people around the globe will accept them, how do you think our world could be changed? What is your vision about it?
The eight foundations of the creative society, which you people have just shared, even with those who have seen it for the first time. What I personally feel, when it was my first time to go through the whole concept and go through all the eight foundations one by one, step by step, it was like nothing such is there which I, as a person, I don't like intend towards. Okay, And similar concept is there with almost all the people in my surroundings, all the people in my neighborhood, because this is something which we all require. These are like the basic needs of us. As basic as we need the food, as we need the water, we need all these things. We need to consider all these eight principles. And I personally believe in a really strong manner that as many people are going to opt these things and start implementing it, because everything starts with with absolutely nothing. Nothing is the beginning of everything. So you have to start with that. It's not like, okay, if he will do, I will follow that thing. If she will do, I will do that. If my teacher will do that, if my parents will do that. Come on, it's you, it's us. First thing is you, and then it's us. Even if you are going to take it that way, us has got a you at the beginning. It starts with you. When you are going to start it, that you can be converted into us. Start that thing, start implementing it right from your own perspective, right within your family, within your community. And then obviously, if a lot of people, if the majority is going to start following all these principles and start implementing it within their own capacity, it's going to be a real big change for sure, and it will be a change for the good, inshallah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, and especially everything. All the words were very powerful and beautiful. But what I liked also that you said it's a basic need of every human. And I know, as we have already conducted millions of interviews and social surveys, we realized that this basic, let's say, information is encrypted into our souls, and we all know it. We know that we should live in such a society. It's natural, and it's way more natural than the society in which we are living right now. This is why, as you mentioned, really it's time for all of us, for all people in the world, to unite and to build a society. Both pillars are these eight foundations. And I would like to ask to show a video about eight foundations on the screen so that you, dear viewers, could know more about these eight foundations. Thank you very much, Mr. Wakar. As you work in educational sphere, I cannot miss a question to ask you. How do you envision an education in the creative society?
Education should be accessible for everybody, because the more educated your society will be, the more visionary people you are going to have for the future. Because with the education, you are going to get more qualified people who can envision the future of the society, more skilled people who are going to contribute towards the better labor for your society, better workers for the society. And other than that, they are going to understand all the basics, because if something is good for me and I'm educated, in that case, there is a possibility that I am going to consider others before me. I can put myself into someone else's shoe in order to understand what he or she is going through. And education is basically going to open the door for us to think about, and it can open a lot of doors for others people. It's all about your mindset. A person without education is it's really difficult. I should not be using some harsh wordings here, but I guess education is as good and as important for a person as a food for you, because education is kind of a food for your soul. It's going to groom yourself, it's going to groom the personalities of the people, and as soon as you're going to start grooming the personalities, those personalities will start grooming the society overall. So that is for me the education, the basic foundation in order to build a society, in order to develop a society, in order to have sustainability in that society.
And how can we reach it? Because if we understand and accept that education should be accessible and it should be of the same high quality everywhere in the world, how can we reach it?
For that reason, both the stakeholders, the basic stakeholders, because in every single economy, in every single country, you have got some share related to the public sector, some related to the private sector, and it's like two hands of the society. These two hands should be joined and work together in order to achieve it. For example, if you are going to consider Germany, you will find the higher studies are, like in most of the cases, they're providing scholarships, they're providing real good opportunities, not only for the locals, for the expats also. So from the educational perspective, you will find a lot of people from different parts of the world. When it comes to higher education, they would like to go to Germany. On the other hand, if you see the Canada, you see USA, you will find a lot of provisions are being given from the governmental side. But what about the private sector? Like one part of the society, one side of the society, which is the government, whether it be the local or the federal, they are providing the opportunities, they are making it accessible for the people. But on the other hand, the private sector, subhanallah, they are just trying to take it for granted, because for them, everything, like this is what we have heard a lot of time is money. Government doesn't say that. We say that. We are the components of that private sector. So, and in some cases, you will find private sector is doing a lot. For example, you can take the example of some non-governmental organizations in different parts of the world. They are working a lot. You have got a number of organizations working in Central African countries. You've got a lot of organizations working in the Southeast Asian countries. But there, the government is coming up on the other end. The balance is missing. The balance, we need to create that balance, we need to sustain that balance. Only then we are going to make it something real. Because if one side is putting up a lot of effort and the other side is doing exactly the opposite, so it's basically making it null and void, the net effect. And that is the reason why, with some good some bad, it's like plus minus makes it minus.
Yeah, very interesting. Natalia, do you have another question? Because I have a couple of questions I wanted to ask Mr. Wakar as well.
Yes, I would like to ask Mr. Vakar about equality and justify in a creative society. Mr. Vakar, how do you see that?
Well, it's simple. Justice is the need for the people. Equality is the need for the people. We are equal, and that should be the first thing which we should all have in our mind. Either you take it from religious perspective, or you take it from ethical perspective, or you take it from any positive perspective, you will find that the justice and equality, these things go hand by hand. Okay, they go hand in hand. Like I know a lot of viewers are there from our Muslim community, so let me give them one example here. Like this is one of the verses of the Quran, and in the Holy Quran it's being said by the Almighty that, and cooperate in righteousness, but do not cooperate in sin and aggression, and fear Allah. Indeed, Allah is severe in penalty. So, if you believe in that thing, that there is an accountability for whatever you are doing, you will start considering that justice is something which is my responsibility, which is your responsibility, which is everyone's responsibility. And we have to start it from our own. Are we doing justice to our family? Are we doing justice to our professions? Are we doing justice to our jobs? Are we doing justice if I'm an entrepreneur and I've got a lot of employees with me? Am I doing justice with them in terms of their remuneration, in terms of their working hours, and what am I providing to them? Like every single phase and field of life, this concept is associated. So if we start taking it on a really lighter note and in the microeconomic level, things are really going to get better. And we have to take it that way, because even if you have to start building another tallest building, which is you are going to aim, I'm going to build something which is going to be more taller than Burj Khalifa. From where you're going to start, you'll start with the foundation, and with the foundation you have to put that first brick. And I feel that justice and equality is going to be the first brick in any sort of a creative society, where people are definitely not only going to think but to feel we are all equal.
Thank you.
And I also like that you touched the topic that we could consider this from a different perspectives. But if we consider, for example, from a religious perspective, and we look through books and through holy messages left to the humanity by the prophets and by the spiritual people, they are always about love. They are always about respect. They are always about loving God and loving each other. They are always about living in this prosperity and support to each other. And my question would be, if we all know these messages, why don't we live like this? And how can we change it and really start to live as according to the values and messages left to us by our prophets?
Well, what I personally feel, it has actually become, people are taking it, sorry to say, a lot of people, they are just picking up the topics just to have some sort of energy, just to have some sort of point scoring and stuff while they are discussing. When it comes to implementation, we don't implement. We want the society to become like this. We want the society to become like that. Hello, society starts with you. Society starts with me. Until and unless I'm not doing it, I'm not implementing, you are not implementing, how can we expect others to do that? It makes no sense. And that is the reason why, if you look at the society, if you look at your surrounding, and if you look at yourself, you will find we want the change, we want to build, we want to renovate, we want to innovate. Everything I want this, I want this. Yes, you want. If you want something, start it from yourself. But no, I want it to be done, but I want someone else to do it. If you want me to talk about it, I can talk about it. I can tell you stories, I can keep talking, but if it comes to me and I have to implement it, well, I'll be thinking and then I'll start coming up with lame excuses. Actually, I'm not doing it because of this reason. Come on, that's just rubbish. Until and unless we are going to take it as our own responsibility and we are going to consider our own accountability, nothing is going to change. Change starts within. And this is what we really need to understand, realize, and make change. Start changing yourself first. And then you will see society is going to change. Until and unless I'm just keep giving on these sort of speeches and all these motivational little topics and all these sessions, if I am not going to change myself, no one else.
True, I agree. And this is why there is the eighth foundation of the creative society, because we understand that the creative society consists of almost 8 billion of responsible adult mature people, people who take over responsibility and who are responsible for themselves, for their actions, for their words. And then the society will change. And without the responsibility or putting the responsibility on someone else, as we are doing it majority of us, honestly, we are doing it now. We have what we have. But if we want to build something beautiful and something really amazing for everyone, then everyone should be responsible for this. And definitely it starts from me, from you. And this is why this project is so important. And we are inviting all people in the world to 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 learn more about it and to join this project and to tell about it to all people you know, to your relatives, to your friends, to your colleagues. And we know that together we can. In order to join the project Creative Society, it's very easy. All the information about the project and the 8 foundations of the Creative Society you can find on the webpage allatraunites.com. Visit it. And just then you open the page, you will see the red button Join Us. Click it. Choose the language you speak, answer 1 or 3 questions, and just press the button Join Us. It's very easy, and one of volunteers of ALLATRA International Public Movement of the Project Creative Society will contact you in your language. And you know, Mr. Waqar, that that's your experience. You did it already. And can you share with our viewers, was it difficult?
It was extremely easy. Like I just did it within a jiffy. Like it took me no time. And as soon as I connected and I got the first message from a lady named Olga Kotek, and now she is one of my personal contacts there. She is a very good acquaintance, and now we have already started to work on some sort of projects. And then I had a chance to meet with you, with Natalia, with Sergey, and with a lot of other people there. And see, it's like within no time. I've been associated with the Creative Society, and within no time, like just to mention here, Alatra TV has already started its Pakistan stream separately, and I had the chance to have this sort of conversation and the conference call with Mr. Amir Khan from Pakistan, and I was being there with Anna from Ukraine, and we have started to work on it. And just to give a little thing to our viewer that we are working on something really interesting, especially to the viewers of the Pakistan, something really interesting, a project. I'm not going to give you the detail right now, otherwise going to spoil the thing there. So let's keep it a secret, a little secret. Yes, we have started to work on it. I am now associated with one of that project which is related to Pakistan, and it's going to be a really interesting project and some more. So I want everybody to join this movement, be a part of it. If you want the things to get changed, start getting change yourself and join it. If you have got the platform, why not using it? Because if you feel, no, I'm somebody and I'm going to do something, you are somebody, you will remain somebody, and then at the end you will become nobody. So if you want to become somebody from that nobody, let's start with the platform. You've got the platform, you've got the people, you've got the support. Start. It's nothing. We are not charging anything, we are not giving you anything. Okay, it's just a voluntary basis we are working on the mutual interest. Work on it. And believe me, this is something really good. This is something really, really happening. And if you are going to become the part of it, you will start getting all those positive vibes, which I have received, I'm receiving, and I hope that all these positive vibes are coming out from me also, and people around me, people in my community, they're going to take it positively. Okay, go ahead, join the society, play your role as much as you can. Try to utilize your free time in something which is going to be more constructive for you and for our future generations also, inshallah.
Thank you so much. This
Beautiful.
message was very powerful and beautiful, and I liked also that you mentioned already examples of projects which are being implemented within the framework of a Creative Society project, and there are many more opportunities for volunteers to join and to show creative abilities and creative talents, and it's a great opportunity to communicate in the international team with people all over the world. And we know that Creative society never sleeps. Then we go to sleep, Australia wakes up, and they continue building creative society. And one of the examples, what people can do when they unite, is the conference, Creative Society Together We Can. And this conference was organized by volunteers of Allatra International Public Movement, and it took place on the 20th of December 2020. And I would like everyone to watch, to invite to watch this conference, because during these 3 hours, we explained to our viewers uh, all details about the consumerism society where we are living now. And we showed the way to the creative society. We explained what is creative society. Each of the speakers said why creative society is important to him, to her, and we also spoke how to build it and why the informational stage is so important. I also know that Mr. Waqar watched this conference, and I would like to ask you maybe to share your feedback about it.
Well, in general, like overall experience of that conference, and to see the people getting in touch with each another from different parts of the world and from different corners, and people from different languages, different backgrounds, sharing mutual interest, coming up with a lot of real issues in the society which are more related to humankind, which are not only specific to politics, but yes, the things will get discussed. The most important thing and the most inspiring thing for me was that what was happening in front of the screen, okay, people watched it, but what was happening behind the screen, that is something which actually inspires me a lot. Just to inform the viewers here, that consider you are going to conduct not not a little event, not a workshop, not a college event. It's a huge conference, people from different parts of the world participating, and it's going to take like more than 3 hours, almost 4 hours. Things are going on, cameras are working, volunteers are working, shifts are getting changed, and things, and even every single content is being translated into 35 different languages at the same time. Can you imagine? And what was the point which actually linked all the people behind the screen, in front of the screen, towards the making of that, towards the editing of that, towards the translation, towards the transmission, was that one thought, that above all, we are humans, above all, we require a society which is going to give us all the things which we desire for. And above us, above all the nationalities and all, we are the humans. We are the society makers. And that sense, that yes, that sense of achievement, we are moving towards something. Okay, things are getting discussed without any conflicting behavior, because this is also something very important. If I am about to raise an argument here, okay, and you people are listening to me, and then when I'm going to have that counter argument, I should have that patience level to listen to you first, to give you the answer, to give you the response of it. That is the other thing. Tolerance is missing. I like it the most. All the presenters, all the speakers, all the panelists, the way they have actually proven their skill of tolerance, their patience, that was mind blowing. There were some topics which could be considered as controversial topics, but so what? This is something which is going to unite us. Have patience, have tolerance, try to listen to others. We hear the people, we don't listen to the people. The little difference behind this hearing and listening is creating a lot of chaos in the world. I can pretend I'm listening, but actually I can only hear your voice. This thing which is coming here is not going towards my mind. I am unable to interpret. I'm not listening. We don't listen. Generally we don't listen. We hear, we pretend we are listening, we don't listen. Please have some tolerance, have some patience, start listening to the people so that you can start understanding them better. And that was the pick of the conference which I have got from there. People were listening, people were understanding, people were analyzing, people were evaluating, people were responding, and the things were getting appreciated. I mean, simply wow. It was a perfect example of the society by combining all the characteristics which you require in an educated, qualified, creative, smooth, harmonical society.
Thank you very much. Also for pointing to the most important characteristic of the creative society. Creative society cannot be built or reached through any kind of violence or conflict. It's impossible. Creative society is a society where people care about each other, where people love each other. And we had many roundtables, international roundtables and conferences on the topic, creative society is a world without violence. Because our society don't need any more revolutions or wars or violence. We need an evolution, and first of all, an evolution of growth of humanness inside ourselves. Thank you so much, Mr. Waqar, for your feedback, for your opinion about the creative society, for your explanation, which was so beautiful. And dear viewers, thank you for joining us today. Don't hesitate to visit allatraunites.com webpage, join the project, and I hope to see you soon as guests of our show. And I pass the floor to Natalia.
I would like to say thank you to you, Mr. Waqar, to participate with us today. And my last question is going to be, who would you like to nominate for the next interview?
I'll definitely nominate somebody from my close friend circles because, as I mentioned earlier, we have to start from our own. So we have to start from the community. So I've got number of people queued with me, and I've already started to share the things along with them. And I believe that with this interview and this transmission, if they're watching it live or they are going to get a chance to go through it, obviously I'll find a lot of people I already have, which will definitely be getting so desperate to be here and a part of it, inshallah. And at the end, just a little message from my side to all my viewers. Listen, even if you are going to take the things from like if you want to do good, you will do good. You will pick the positives. If you don't want to do good, you will do bad and you'll pick the negatives. Come on, grow up, start picking up the positive things, try to avoid the conflicts. Like even it's there for us from the religious, just to bring in from the Islamic perspective. It's written, it's being said, it's being given as a message to the Muslim that indeed the Allah Almighty will not change the condition of people until they change what is in themselves. Start with you, start from within, and see the way things are going to get changed and change for the good, inshallah. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so much.
Mr. Waqar. And dear students of Mr. Waqar, I have to say that you are very lucky. And I really hear this powerful message to all of us. And it's very much inspiring. It's an impulse for doing something good. And if you want to share this interview in your social media networks, please don't forget to use two hashtags. First, allatraunites, and second, creative society. And it will help our viewers to find all the interviews and all content about creative society. So let's build creative society all together. Let's build it quickly. And in order to live in a creative society tomorrow, we should start today talking about it, uniting. We should be united by one common goal, to build a beautiful society where everyone is happy. Thank you for being with us today, and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for having me here.